enough riders in town that we decided we better get serious. We only had a practice track that we were squatting on. We couldn't hold any events, and it's a pretty good spectator sport, so we thought we need to try and find some land.
It's amazing. Track stood up fairly well considering how many riders are on it. It's been a bit dusty, but they're doing the best job they can. At first it wasn't my favorite track, but I'm growing on it. There's adding new stuff to it, and it's getting way better. Lots of rocks are gone, some sand's coming up, some topsoil, so good variation of dirt. It's really good now.
It's pretty tight. There's definitely some good competition between the guys in Terrace, and there's some out-of-towners that are doing awesome.
I've been from New Brunswick all the way across Canada, so you get to see a very average amount of tracks, and comparing this to a lot of them, it's definitely a national ranked track, like a really wide, fun, high speed, and definitely wasn't expecting this much sand, but it's so fun, keeps the track nice and tacky, and nothing like, it feels like a national track. It's awesome.
This track is one of the best tracks in British Columbia, so to all of you out here that have been a part and parcel to this whole adventure, a job well done.
A lot of it's just they're just finishing a big circuit and big national series and stuff, and it's hard for them to keep traveling, and it does get tiresome, but it's something we're used to and we have to do. The big distance, and then it's harder for people like from Vancouver. This is probably a 16-17 hour drive, so it is definitely a big long drive, but I look at it now and we're definitely worth it. Definitely had a good time.
And there's also a course at the Northwest Community College in Jocks Excavating, and they're the guys that did most of the work out here. They did a huge amount, and I guess there's about 7 weeks coming up of a course or right around that ballpark, and there's going to be a lot of changes here, but it's going to be big.
Busted my sternum, bruised my heart, I broke all 6 ribs. I've I think I counted the other day, I think I busted over 25 bones now, so yeah, I've busted a few. It's just something out there, the camaraderie of the guys, you know, these guys out here will take a bullet for you, you know, it's the best friends you'll ever meet in your life.
It's fun, you know, all these guys are my friends, so I'm just out there trying to lend a hand, and it's a bit of a vacation for me.
The crowd is unbelievable. Like, you get goosebumps like just talking about it, but it's just a fantastic feeling just to have the crowd behind you and come and watch you ride bulls.
Oh, we got some ideas. We're going to try and do our best. It'll get bigger, it'll get better. The Cowboys, the better Cowboys are starting to come now. They recognize that they're having a good time here, so it'll get better, guaranteed. Good show, lots of good riders. I think everybody had a great time. And but like I say, we couldn't have done it without our sponsors' help, and we thank them for that. Well, Kitimat's got huge potential, and we're survivors. Kitimat will make it through, and like I say, when we can get that many people to come together and put on an event like this, that just shows that we're survivors and we're going to make her through.
I don't know. All right, let's watch a cowboy. Jeff Roby, last year's champion, the
I was in a slump before this, couldn't ride nothing, but now it finally feels good to ride, get back out of it and ride a couple bulls. And it's just the adrenaline it's awesome. Sometimes you get a buckle or else money. Knock on wood, but I've lucked out right now. Haven't really had any major injuries, just a couple of bumps and bruises, but nothing that's kept me out. If you think about it, it'll happen. So I just don't think about it. It's lots of fun. Oh yeah, we all like to see everybody do good. We don't like to see people buck off. I mean, we travel with everybody here. We all know each other. We just like to see everybody have fun.
Yeah, it can be dangerous, but you know what? That's the name of the game. I knew what I was signing up for, and you know what? You don't think about it too much, and you know the adrenaline, you know, it kicks in more than that fear does, I bet. So that's how I like it. Love to do that. I just want to. Right now, I'm just going with the breeze. Right now, just trying to have fun. As soon as it stops being fun, then that's when I'll probably stop. As soon as it becomes a job, then there's no point in doing it.
I just got hooked ever since I was a little kid. I wanted to do it. Watching it on TV, watching my dad rope, and he wanted us to be ropers, but I chose the bull riding way. He started it, and a lot of his brothers were doing it, and then it just went on from there. And then it was too boring for us, so we just started riding bulls. I work out back home, do lots of stretching, and that's the main thing. Yeah, I broke my sternum. Bull stepped on my chest. I was out for about the whole summer and came back that fall.
We bring the bulls and all the chutes and the steel and stuff that you see here for the show. Yeah. I was four-time BC champion bull rider. That was started in the late 80s, and I quit riding. Well, I haven't really even quit riding bulls, but I still get on the odd one here and there. And the last time I was champion was 2003. I still get on. We always are bucking young bulls and stuff at home, and once in a while when there's not enough guys, it's like, oh yeah, I'll crawl on here or there. Mostly I just fight bulls and stuff now. This was an event with lots of added money, $8,500 added, which is a good prize money. So the guy that wins first here is probably going to take home roughly about $3,000. It's a lot of fun. We love coming here. The guys love to come here. It is a real hard time of the year because there's a lot of big professional rodeos, so it's hard to draw a lot of real top-end guys. I mean, $8,500 is a good prize money, but there's also 3 pro rodeos on and a couple amateur rodeos on at the same time. So we get some young guys here, we get some quality guys. You'll see a little bit of a mixture of everybody, and the guys that come here love to come here. They enjoy it.
Well, tonight we're doing a little bit of a show, a history of rock and roll type thing, and then tomorrow we start with our beginners. We take kids that have either just started to play instruments or have never played instruments, and we teach them how to play some cool rock songs, and at the end of the week we do a big concert and they put on a show for their friends. It's awesome.
I got tired of being broke all the time, so I came up with this idea of doing what I do. Like my day job, I do this. I teach rock and roll to little kids. And I was like, why don't we do this in different communities? So we did a showcase and we came up with the idea of doing a rock and roll camp. So if we do the camp, then that helps us fund the tours, so then we don't go broke. It's amazing.
We don't have to sleep in the van anymore.
Yeah, we used to sleep in the van. And we teach them songs, like the beginners, we teach them stuff like Smoke on the Water and Highway to the Danger Zone stuff, and then we progressively get more and more crazy. And over the course of 3 days, we can take kids that have never played instruments before and then put on a show at the end of 3 days. It's amazing.
This with us, come on, stand up, here we go. Don't stop believing, hold on to that feeling, street lights, people.
Was surfing through like the summer camps, and then I came across rock and roll camps. So I said, this may be fun. Mom, could you put me in this?
I played a giant bass and it was huge on me. Yeah. I actually do play drum in real life, but I really wanted to sing.
You expect it to be a small town, and then you come here and there's so many great opportunities, and it's amazing. It's great. It's wonderful.
We love it here. Terrace wins. They're the best.
Yeah. Finally erase my heart from all the past and let myself fall in love with you. Was it hard, or was it hardly even anything? This is not even on. All right, please give it up. One big bow. Ready? 1, 2, 3, go! All right.
The 609 is my car number, so when I go in a race, that's how they know who you are. And the 689 was yesterday's time that I was running for ET on the window, and that's what I tried to stay with. So in the semifinals, I did go a little too quick and I lost. So I ran a 685. You are racing yourself essentially because you put the time on the car and you're not allowed to go quicker unless there is a double breakout. There's a lot to bracket racing and it takes a bit to teach somebody. Your reaction time is the first half, and then the other half is running that time on your car.
They'll come out of staging. We'll have a person there that directs which cars are going to go where. They'll come into the burnout box and they'll hand off to a burnout coordinator or the guy that does the burnout box. He'll hold the cars there, position them. They come through the water so that they get the tires wet so they'll spin better. He'll position them and hold them, tell them to heat up their tires, which will make them hot and sticky, so they'll grip better when they get up to the start line. The staging person or the start person will bring them in. They'll roll in ever so slightly until they positioned based on the beams on the pre-stage and stage on the tree. Once both cars are at the stage position, the starter will hit a start button, the lights will start coming down, cars will run down the track. When they finish down at the end of the 8th mile, they'll turn around and come back down our return lane behind the barricades, and once they're behind the barricade, the next race will be going, and the same process over and over. Here we run with a computer. Everything's computerized. The sensors are optical. They use an infrared beam so that they can position the cars equally, so they're down to about a half an inch on a good day, and even closer than that on the best day, depending on how much time we get during setup to tune that in. And the computer manages it all. There are still some tracks out there where people do the old Pink's arm drop, but luckily we have a fairly nice system here with the nice sensors and the computer that does all the dirty work for us.
I don't know. I think it's just, you know, the whole only guys race fast cars, like no girls do, but I kind of just wanted to get involved, and I've always been involved since I was young. Like since I was born, my dad's been drag racing, and I've always been into it. I am the only female participant that races an actual drag car, but there are 3 other girls that race junior dragsters. I started with my dad's old beer that he drove to work, and after that I just had the itch and I haven't stopped, and it's just a blast.
Yeah, once again, you know, you figure out everything else, and then something else breaks. I broke a weld off the ladder bar suspension, which then made the car almost tip on its side. Well, years of stress. I mean, it is 14 years old, been running for years, and the new motor, like I say, 3 years ago, it's got about 200 extra horsepower, so it's been eating up all the parts. Yeah, it was my street car back then, so, but you know, when you're younger and all the horsepower, I was losing my license quite a bit, so I decided to take it off the road and strictly track. Yeah, track conditions, like today it's cold, you don't have the heat in the track, so you tend to slip a little bit more, so you got less tire pressure to give you a little more traction, which then slows you down, So there's all sorts of variables.
We race usually on a Saturday, Sunday, and the Thursday beforehand, we're out here. We have to we race on an active runway, so we have to follow airport regulations, close off the runway. We have to set up our track. We have our wiring, our safety gear. Everything has to be set up beforehand. Usually takes volunteers 2 evenings, the Thursday and the Friday. And then we have probably a team of anywhere from 4 to 8 volunteers that put on the show for all the racers that come from as far away as Vanderhoof, Prince George regularly, and some that have even come from Fort St. John in the past. We have, both in the racing classes, we have junior dragsters, which are kids as young as 8 years old can get into these little dragster cars and drive those down the track. Kids get into it, they see cars they like, parents, a lot of them are nostalgic, they owned an old muscle car when they were young or whatever. For the spectators it's great, and then the racers as well, most of them have families, and the kids are involved helping out, carrying tools, or helping dad out or whatever, doing their parts. So.
Oh, they just need to come up here and take their street car out and just enter it, and we'll go over a few things with you, tech the car, and let you enter, and you just start racing and see if you like it.